Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my first impressions look on the UA Hovr Havoc 4 clone. So this shoe is going for 120 bucks, and if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave an affiliate link in the description box. It's actually weird because it's on Under Armour, right? And it's going for 120 bucks, but then I also checked, like, it's on Walmart as well for 65 bucks. There's a black colorway and a white colorway, and then on Under Armour there's this colorway, so I'll leave all the links down in the description box below. But let's get it started off with the tracciones. And as far as the traction pattern goes, here in the forefoot we have lines and the lines go in different angles, and then here in the heel we have more of like a triangle pattern. It's a solid rubber outsole, and as far as the squeak goes on my wood floors, there is a nice loud squeak, and the bite seems to be pretty good. I did play in the shoe once already today, and it was picking up a good amount of dust. So I got it first and I was like very impressed. I was like, yo, the traction seems pretty damn good, because it seemed very nice on my wood floors, right? But then I did play in it on the basketball court at 24 Hour Fitness, and it was pretty dusty there, so it doesn't mean like this shoe's terrible for traction yet. But it was picking up a good amount of dust, which I didn't like all too much. And as far as durability goes, durability on this shoe seems okay. I mean, the grooves are pretty deep and the rubber is kind of hard. Not the hardest rubber, but like I said, the grooves are deep, so I feel like it'll be pretty good on an outdoor court. So there is the traction there. I am a little bit worried about the dust. Alright, moving on to the heel to toe transition. It seems very smooth, right? So here in the heel we have a very nice curve shape, and look at this, pretty much a fully exposed midsole, I guess, besides all the way here in the back of the heel. But still, it's pretty damn smooth. And then here in the forefoot we have a very nice curve shape and a lot of forefoot flex. Look at that. So it seems pretty damn smooth so far. And now moving on to the cushioning setup. So the cushioning setup is a little confusing, right? So the tech specs on Walmart's site says that it's full length hover, and then on Under Armour it doesn't say anything. It just says hover cushioning. So obviously it says hover right here on the lateral side, but it also says micro G on the medial side, and on the Under Armour site it doesn't say anything about micro G, which is weird, right? So I'm guessing this whole midsole, right, this white midsole is micro G. And then as you guys can see, hover with the little mesh, you know, the hover usually has mesh over it. I'm guessing the hover foam is like the core of this actual midsole. So the step-in comfort is actually pretty damn nice. I'm very surprised, because Under Armour in their ball shoes they make hover and all their foams pretty damn stiff, especially comparing to their like lifestyle models and also their running shoes. The running shoes that have hover is super nice, and then the basketball shoes that have hover are like not that nice, you know what I mean? But I feel like this one, the Hovr Havoc 4, it seems pretty damn nice, right? So I like the step-in comfort. Also, the insole is pretty plush. I feel like it'll bottom out though, like most insoles do, but I do like the overall step-in comfort right now. And also another thing about this shoe is that the core feel is insane right now. It's so damn low to the ground. It reminds me a lot of the Harden Volume 6, which is a good thing, of course, but it probably won't be very good on hard impacts, just like the Harden Volume 6, just because you have really good core feel, right? Here in the heel, we do have a good amount of compression from the midsole, which feels nice. So I like the overall cushioning setup so far. I am a little bit worried about hard impacts, but overall, I feel like it's gonna be pretty nice. Hopefully, it gets a little bit bouncier, but I have my doubts on that. And also, I hope it doesn't like bottom out too quickly either. Alright, moving on to the material. So we have a brand new clone upper, right? So it looks kind of like a leather material, and there's a whole bunch of stitches going throughout this entire upper, and we can see these like colored lines going through the upper as well, like orange, blue, and like this purple color. It's just paint. I don't really think that does all too much, but like I said, we have a lot of stitching, and on their website it says it expands and contracts with the movement of your foot, which I guess is a good thing, right? You want the material to kind of like move with the movement of your foot a little bit, but you don't really want it to expand that much, you know what I mean? Just for support reasons, right? But overall, it's actually quite soft. It feels really nice and plush, and because of the stitching, there's like these little kind of like pockets of air, which does feel nice and cozy on top of your foot, here in the toe box and also here in the midfoot, which I really like. So for the quality, it definitely sucks. It seems pretty cheap, right? It's like a synthetic leather material, but on foot I like it. You know, it's cozy, it's relatively thin. It's not the thinnest material ever, but it's soft, it's cozy and all that, so I like it. And then here in the ankle area we have like some synthetic materials which feel really cheap as well. And for 120 bucks, I mean, I guess I understand, but I wish they would have used better materials, you know what I mean? For the tongue, we have an adequate amount of padding actually. It feels pretty nice and plush. And also another thing that's pretty interesting is that the tongue is an independent tongue. It's not a half booty construction tongue like most modern basketball shoes are. So hopefully the tongue stays in place. But I feel like it will, just because as you guys can see, the eyelets go through this kind of like tab right here on top of the tongue, which will probably keep the tongue in place. Also underneath the clone upper, we have a very nice kind of like fleece or cotton material, so that feels nice and soft, but I don't think ventilation will be that good. It'll probably be a very hot shoe. And then here in the ankle area we have an adequate amount of padding as well, so the clone upper feels nice on foot so far. All right, moving on to the fit. I love the fit of the shoe right now, right? So I went true to size and my toes go pretty much right to the edge of the shoe. The toe box is also quite snug, and width wise I would say it's slightly narrow. So Under Armour usually gets the fit right for me personally. Like most Under Armour shoes fit me very, very well. So I feel like most people will be okay going true to size. If you have a wide foot or you want a roomier fit in the toe box, I would suggest going up half a size. Alright, moving on to the support and lockdown. Overall, I feel like it's going to be a supportive shoe. So here in the forefoot, we can see, or I guess it's kind of like more in the midfoot, but the foam does come up acting as a sidewall. And also here in the heel, it acts as a sidewall too. And we have an internal TPU heel counter. And also this clone upper feels pretty supportive, right? It kind of rolls over on itself a little bit, but it doesn't really have too much stretch to it. Although it says on the website, it expands and contracts, which... yeah, not really, right? And then for lateral stability, I feel like it's gonna be pretty good as well. I mean, it doesn't protrude out that much, it protrudes out a little bit, but overall, I feel like it's gonna be good, especially since you're so damn low to the ground because the foam is really thin, right? And also, the ankle support seems pretty damn good in the shoe, right? This material here is quite stiff, you know, like in the KD14 or in the Kyrie's, the material moves pretty easily here in the ankle area, but here in the Hovr Havoc 4, actually feels quite supportive. So that's a good thing for people that want ankle support. For me, I like low top, so I'm not liking it all too much. So there's that. And now moving on to the weight of the shoe. I feel like it's gonna be pretty damn light, like 11-12 ounces, 11.64 ounces. Let's check the other pair. 11.15 ounces. What? 11.15 ounces and 11.6. That's a 0.5 ounce difference. What? That's a lot of weight, guys. Holy crap. 11.64, 11.15. All right. So I can. That's pretty crazy. 0.5 ounces different is a lot of weight between the left and right pair. Usually like 0.2, 0.3 ounces is okay. That's like the maximum, but 0.5 is a lot. So yeah, I guess like, I don't know what it is, like quality control or something. But either way, it's in the 11 ounce range, so that's very, very light. And it feels light, it feels minimal, nothing like protrudes out or anything, and it feels overall really nice on foot so far. All right, moving on to the aesthetics. I don't know, guys, not a huge fan. I don't like the lines here on the upper. I don't like the embroidered like material either on this clone upper. It looks kind of weird, right? And the overall silhouette, not a huge fan of. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, the Hovr Havoc 4 clone is feeling pretty good so far. I like most things about it, like the cushion feels nice, the upper feels good on foot, I like the fit, support seems like it's gonna be pretty good as well. But the traction on dust is something that I'm very, very worried about because it was pretty bad today, right? And Under Armour doesn't really, they don't really make too many models anymore. Like they have the Curries, they have the Spawns, which that's been out for a while. And they have the UA Flow Feature X and like a very cheap budget shoe. Do you guys want to see the Jet? Like, do you want to see a review on the Jet? It's like 65, 70 bucks. I've been keeping away from that shoe just because I've done reviews in the past on that shoe and it gets like not a whole lot of views, so I figured like you guys weren't really interested in that shoe. But anyways, Under Armour doesn't really make a whole lot of ball shoes anymore, or I guess they never really did, right? But this is more like a team model shoe, right? And honestly, it's a pretty important shoe. It's the same price as the Flow Future X. And I just don't understand the price point, right? Because they're giving us Hovr Micro G and like this cheap clone upper, comparing it to the Flow Future X, which is using the same exact outsole and midsole as the Curry 9, right? By the way, if I was Under Armour, I would have wanted to make this shoe like a great performer, which of course we'll see on that, right? But it's important that it is a good performer because, you know, it's the Hovr Havoc, right? But anyways, that about wraps up my first impressions on the Hovr Havoc 4 clone. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.